In this section, we will learn about buffer solutions. First of all, what is a buffer? A buffer solution is one whose pH remains almost constant when small amounts of acid or alkali is added. The function of the buffer is to resist changes in the pH when the acid and base is added. This is important for processes or reactions that require specific and stable pH ranges. An example of buffer is in our blood. Buffer solutions are extremely important in biology and medicines because most biological reactions and enzymes need very specific pH ranges in order for them to work properly. There are two types of buffer solutions. The first one is an acidic buffer whose pH is less than 7. It is made up of a weak acid and is sodium or potassium salt. An example of an acidic buffer is that of ethanoic acid and CH3COO- and Na+. CH3COOH forms the acid component of the buffer, and CH3COO- forms the base component of the buffer. In a buffer, you need high concentrations of both the acid and base component. The second type of buffer is an alkaline buffer whose pH is more than 7. It is made up of a weak base and its salt. And an example will be NH3 and NH4+ Cl-. The acid component is NH4+ and the base component is NH3. Similarly, you need high concentrations of both components for the basic buffer to work. Let's look into details of an acidic buffer. So using the example of CH3COOH and CH3COO- and Na+. Now, as you have learned in earlier sections, weak acids only undergo partial dissociation. So this is the dissociation equation for the weak acid CH3COOH to form CH3COO- and H3O+. Because it is a partial dissociation, you only have low concentration of CH3COO- from the dissociation of CH3COOH. Do note the use of a reversible arrow to indicate the partial dissociation. On the other hand, the salt is ionic. In water, it undergoes complete dissociation. So in water, it will form CH3COO- and Na+. Do note that this is a full arrow use because this is a complete dissociation of the salt. Now, because of the presence of the CH3COO- due to LCP, the large amount of the CH3COO- will suppress the dissociation of the weak acid, hence causing the position of equilibrium to lie towards the left for this dissociation, and you will have a large concentration of CH3COOH. The complete dissociation of the salt also results in a large concentration of the CH3COO-. Thus, in the acidic buffer, you will have high concentrations of both CH3COOH and CH3COO-. Let's now look at the alkaline buffer. The example that we will look at is that of NH3 and NH4Cl. Just like a weak acid, the weak base undergoes partial dissociation represented by this equation, ammonia dissociating to form NH4+ and OH-. Again, note the use of reversible arrow to represent the partial dissociation. And there is only low concentration of NH4+ from the dissociation of NH3. On the other hand, the salt undergoes complete dissociation, and again we use a full arrow to represent the complete dissociation, and NH4Cl forms NH4+ and Cl-. Again, by LCP, because of the large amount of NH4+ from the salt, this suppresses the dissociation of NH3, causing this equilibrium to lie towards the left, and there will be a high concentration of NH3. There is also a large concentration of NH4+ due to the complete dissociation of the salt. So as a result, the basic buffer has high concentrations of NH3 and NH4+. Now, having learned about the types of buffer, then how does a buffer control pH? Basically, we are trying to answer this question of how does the buffer system resist significant changes in pH when small amount of an acid or base being added to it. We will first look at the acidic buffer, and over here this is an example of how a question is phrased to explain how a buffer works. So explain how a given solution of a weak acid and the sodium salt acts as an acidic buffer. So over here you need to recognize that the weak acid and the conjugate base forms the component of the acidic buffer. In answering the question, you need to mention about the high concentration of CH3COOH and CH3COO-. And you show the partial dissociation of CH3COOH to form CH3COO- and H+. You also need to show the complete dissociation of the salt to form CH3COO-. So this is the weak acid and this is the weak base, and these are the two components that we are interested in when we look at how the buffer works. Now when we now add a small amount of acid H+ into the buffer solution, then is it the weak acid or is it the weak base that will remove the H+? Based on your understanding of neutralization, then it will be the CH3COO- which has to react the H+ away to form CH3COOH. So the large amount of CH3COO- present ensures that the added H+ is now being removed as CH3COOH. As a result, pH remains fairly constant. Now do note the types of arrow over here. Again, the reversible arrow shows the partial dissociation of the weak acid. The full arrow shows the complete dissociation of the salt. This is also a full arrow because it shows the complete removal of the added H+ from the system. Next, we will look at what happens when we add a small amount of base. So when a small amount of base is added to the buffer solution, between the weak acid CH3COOH and the weak base of CH3COO-, the weak acid is the one that has to react and remove the OH-. And when it removes the OH-, it is removed as CH3COO- and H2O. The large amount of CH3COOH ensures that the added OH- is being removed as CH3COO- and H2O. Again, pH remains fairly constant. Short question, this is going to be the full answering format. Next, we'll move on to the alkaline buffer. Explain how a given solution of a weak base and the salt NH4Cl acts as a basic buffer. So over here, this is the weak base, this is the weak acid. Again, in your answering format, you need to mention about the high concentration of NH3 and NH4+, showing the dissociation of NH3 to form NH4+ and O-, showing the complete dissociation of the salt to form NH4+. Again, do note the arrows, the reversible arrow to show the partial dissociation of the weak base, the full arrow to show the complete dissociation of the salt. This is the weak base, this is the weak acid, and now when we have a small amount of the H+ being added between NH3 and NH4+, which is the component to react? It will have to be the weak base, which is NH3, that removes the H+ as NH4+. Over here, because it is a complete removal of the H+, we use a full arrow. And again, pH remains fairly constant. On the other hand, if we now have a small amount of base being added between NH3 and NH4+, NH3 being the weak acid will remove the added OH- to form NH3 and H2O. Again, it is a full arrow because the OH- is completely removed and hence pH remains fairly constant.